This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the Healthcare Week in San Francisco 2015. I have with me Suzana Zilberberg of BioLight. It's a publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols, BLGTY in the US and BOLT on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. Welcome to SNNLive.
Hi, Shelley. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you back. So let's get right into it for our audience. Let's get an overview.
Okay, so BioLight, a publicly traded company in Israel, and since the beginning of 2014, also here in the US, implementing a very unique business model of clusters around specific medical conditions.
So explain. I know what a cluster is, and I know what medical conditions are. How are you building a business model around that?
We do have today two clusters. One of them is around ophthalmology. Until yesterday, we dealt with glaucoma and dry eye, and yesterday we announced that we will invest in additional, actually we invested in additional company focusing on drug development for the back of the eye, so we will get to additional group of diseases. And the other cluster is dealing with cancer diagnostics. So you will see in our operational units, diagnostics, medical device, and drugs together.
So you're a business entity that is like what we know in the US is like an incubator, and in certain cases, you're an accelerator, all wrapped up in one, with a lot of different ways of making money from the different entities. Did I wrap it up?
It's a good question, but it's not exactly that way, because we do incorporate companies that are in early stages, like the incubators, but also in late stages. So for each of our clusters, we already have a commercial available product. In the ophthalmology group, we do have a laser-based medical device for glaucoma surgery. In our cancer diagnostic cluster, we just started selling cervical cancer diagnostic kit. So we do have early stage and late stage companies together.
So you take these companies through FDA, I'm sure, IND for the medical devices. So tell me a little bit more. What's coming to the US soon?
Absolutely. We have some exciting products that are already here in the US. So for example, we have an implant that knows how to control release eye drops over time. We are currently conducting a clinical trial here in the US in 9 different centers, which is under a 505(b)(2) regulatory pathway under FDA, of course. Everything is being done here in the US from manufacturing to clinical trial. We just finished another clinical trial with a diagnostic tool for dry eye, which we will publish the results next week. So some exciting news are on the way, and that's another program that is being run here in the US. And of course, our new investment will be focused on the US market as well.
It's a pretty big market. So what are the sizes of some of the markets you're focusing on?
Ophthalmology is a huge market and a growing one, because it relates also to elderly population, and we have that around the world. So we're talking about markets of billions of dollars. Depend on the product and depend on the segment that we are targeting, but we're not only targeting the US market. In our cancer diagnostic cluster, our first market is China. Because from cervical cancer, for example, in China you do have a real need for early diagnostics. Here in the US, people do not die from cervical cancer. Women do not die from cervical cancer anymore, but from developing countries' point of view, this is a real unmet need, and this is a huge market. So it's not only US first, it's also developing countries.
When you look at companies to come into your clusters, what do you base accepting them, buying them, funding them? What's the criteria?
First of all, they must have exciting technologies. Technologies that give solution to unmet needs. So it's not me too or me better. It's really something that is innovative and new. Second of all, they cannot compete with existing technologies that we have in our cluster. One of the most important things in our business model is to interact between the technologies. And if you have competing technologies, you won't be able to do that. We can invest in early stage companies. We can invest in late stage companies. We are looking for economic model which will be good. We are looking for good managerial team that will contribute to our cluster approach. And we are looking for exciting products. So
you don't just have to be an Israeli company.
Absolutely not. We do have other technologies in our portfolio. We do have 2 American technologies. We do have a collaboration with the University of Florida, and we are looking to include technologies from other countries as well.
Well, for more information, let's get this website out there, please.
So it's www.bio-light, like light, .co.il.
Ladies and gentlemen, Suzana Nahum Zilberberg, BioLight. 2 symbols. It's a publicly traded company, BLGTY in the US, BOLT on the Tel Aviv. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Healthcare Week in San Francisco. Suzana, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Shelley.
You're welcome.